Last week, a viewer asked me what I disliked the most about Warframe, and after a moment's thought, I figured it's how a number of quality life features are seemingly hidden away or just not obvious. So let's fix that. I'm going to show you a variety of features that'll make your Warframe experience much more pleasant. I'm the Engineer, let's solve a practical problem. The thing with quality life features is that they aren't visually or mechanically impressive. Despite this, they make an incredible difference to the experience for every single player. It's easy to overlook just how many tricks we get used to doing just by second nature, and as a result, we end up forgetting to mention them to new players. Now, there are going to be some of you who already know all this though, of course, and if you're looking for something entirely different to do, you can instead check out the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. It's a PC and mobile game with over 600 champions, all with their own abilities. You can take part in massive PvE boss battles, global PvP, and more besides. Raid has a huge number of bosses for you to battle, including the Guardian of the Voidkeep, Malysitos. His whole shtick is that he used to be a priest of the light, but now he's exiled and has decided to master the magic of the void. What this means is that he has this absolutely gorgeous gear. I just love the purples, the overflowing energy. This is a man who means serious business. He's also chock full of poison based attacks and unblockable debuffs, which do not hold back. You'll need powerful champions to defeat him and get the void potions to upgrade your champions further. And that's just one of the many things you can do to boost your champions. Just this month, Raid is adding the Guardian Ring. It comes with a faction guardian system turning duplicate legendary champions into new powerful buffs. It also has a new way to empower your champions too, for even better skills in battle. So if you want to get a huge head start in Raid, and who doesn't love bonus loot, all you need to do is click the link in the description, or scan the QR code here on your screen. You'll get the epic hero Chonaru, you'll get 200,000 silver, an XP boost, an energy refill, and an ancient shard, used to summon another awesome champion right away. When you join the game, all your loot will be waiting for you right here, but these are only available to new players in the next 30 days, so go ahead, hit that link below, and begin your epic campaign. So thank you to Raid for the sponsorship today, and with that aside, let's dive into those quality life features that everyone should know. So starting off here in the arsenal, say you're going in to sell some of your duplicate mods. It's a thing we've all done, we all need endo. You go on to the mods you're looking to sell, set it to maximum, confirm, select, set to maximum, confirm, select, set to maximum, confirm. It's a bit of a tedious process, and you don't actually have to do it this way. If instead you use your middle mouse click, your secondary fire button, you select an entire stack of mods at once. And that's a lot faster way of doing it, much easier way of getting rid of all those duplicates. It works just the same as well when you're in any inventory screen, so say if you're trading or if you're at the Duke kiosk, middle mouse button again selects all of the items in the stack. You don't need to go through the interface of selecting, oh yes I do actually want to sell everything. I wouldn't actually sell these ones though, but it's still a lot faster than doing that whole select and go to maximum. Looking back into the mod window, but not actually at the mods, we have over here the Ayatan treasures. Now when you first get your Ayatans, you'll need to input your stars one by clicking onto the appropriate slots, and once you get to mastery rank 10, you unlock the ability to auto install with the auto install button down at the bottom right here. But that still requires you to click onto the Ayatan and then go down to the auto install button. For some reason, it doesn't tell you that all you need to do, without having to go between those buttons, is just press Y. And that installs all of the Ayatans for you as well. You still need to be mastery rank 10, but it saves you bouncing between the two different buttons. It's just a little bit easier on the fingers. Speaking of using the letter Y, when you go to hack something normally, and you'll encounter this a lot on the plains of Eidolon, you can go over and use your cipher to do the hack automatically, but going over to click it or press onto it isn't the fastest way. Again, if you just open up and press Y, you instantly complete it. You don't even need to set up this keybind, it's there by default. Just Y. There you are, you've done it even faster than an auto breach can do it. Now continuing the theme with the open world, there are more hotkeys you can utilise there by setting up your Gearwheel correctly. With the Gearwheel, there are lots of things you can choose from, and not all of them can be hotkeyed, but the first 9 options I believe you definitely can set up the hotkeys for. So on hotkey number 1, I have my health pizzas. I can just drop those as and when I need them. Hotkey number 2 allows me to activate the energy pizza. Now I can press that a number of times over if I want to have multiple energy pizzas. Hotkey 3 will give me the Fluctus. For some reason I've got the Fluctus rather than the Mausolon, but there we go. That's the Archwing I've got equipped at the moment, and 3 again puts it right back away, without having to go into the Gearwheel. Other hotkeys can be set up for your other items as well. We can see I use number 5 to switch to my synthesis scanner. Number 6 allows me to jump into my Archwing. Number 7 will cool down my Necromech, and that comes in quite handy when it is Profit Taker time. 8 and 9 then I have set for my spear and for my mining laser, allowing me to switch into those ones quickly as well, again just skipping out the whole Gearwheel process. Putting hotkeys aside now for the moment, if you head back into your arsenal, there's another handy tip that's not too obvious straight away here. Say you're going into your modding, you've decided on your dex tracker you want to have yourself some viral damage. Well, there aren't viral mods for the dex tracker, but what you can do instead is search for viral, and this will bring up both the toxin and the cold mods which go together to make viral. This makes it a lot easier when trying to find the right mods for the elements you're trying to achieve, especially when you're starting out. Remembering what makes what can be a bit confusing. Now there's more to be found even when it comes to the foundry in your orbiter. Say you've got some blueprints on the go which you want to do many times over, like these Goblite tiers I've got here. These are ones that you want to continuously do to make sure you've got the resources for the item you're building. Well, rather than going into, is it miscellaneous or mining, or whichever one it is, and then when you click it it's going to jump all the way down the list, the much easier way to go about this is go to the In Progress tab and make sure you complete the build here. What that means then is that it stays on the listing, so long as you've not got too many of them, it's nice and easy to get down to and repeat that blueprint. Minimum hassle. Now heading back on over to the missions, with some Warframe abilities, they have multiple ways of being cast, a hold to cast and a tap to cast. So like with Gari here, a tap cast normally will shoot a jab of glass at the enemy. Whereas if we get into a cluster of them, a hold cast will do a nice slash attack, which covers a wider area. But maybe you want to do these the other way around. Maybe you don't actually care about the puncture attack and you want to focus on that slashing attack. What you do is you head on down to this section here, the invert tap hold abilities. This you can set up for all Warframes. You can set, do you want it to always be inverted, always be the standard, and then for each individual Warframe that has any kind of tap or hold ability you can set it. So I'm inverting Gara's one here, and when we go back into it, and in the mission itself, I tap and it does the slash attack. So it's not got that delay on the slash attack anymore, and I can still do a puncture one if I need to use that. Now this one is actually one of the first on this list that I ever came across myself in the game, so you may already know about this, but if you ever go up to the locker, you try to open the locker and instead you've started reloading your weapon. And now you're stuck in this whole, do I reload my weapon? Do I go through the whole opening up the lockers? Because they're both on the same button. For some reason, even though we have a separate reload button, well, it doesn't have to be this way. You see, what's actually causing this to happen to you is because down in the controls, we've got this option down here, which is context action includes reload. I'm not entirely sure why that is an option. I've never liked it, so let's just get rid of that one. And now when you use a context action, you will only do a context action. You won't reload. You'll reload when you hit reload. Now I do hope you didn't think we were done on the plains of Eidolon or other open worlds. Well, if you are done on the plains, but the rest of your squad isn't, you might come into a situation where they want to start an next bounty and you want to start extracting, and it doesn't really let you to do that. Now rather than having to convince everyone to come join you on an extraction, you can instead leave the squad. You can only do this on the open worlds. For normal missions you just don't have this as an option. It does put you through a host migration, but this will make you host of your own squad. There we are. With that, it's now just us, so we can go straight into the extraction, and that will allow us to extract without having to wait for anyone, without having to try and convince anyone either, and you still keep all of your rewards. Another shortcut for the open worlds, if you just started onto a bounty, or if you're going onto the next bounty stage, especially on Deimos, they can like to ramble on a bit. So instead of letting that all happen, open up your menu, go to Nightwave and instantly back out. This cancels their transmission and skips to the next stage straight away, so you don't have to wait for all that chatter. Now that's not the only dialogue you can skip in the game. If you're going into the Profit Taker bounty, you always get this little bit of dialogue, or rather lot of bit of dialogue, between Unico and the others, and normal spacebar skip doesn't work. And instead what you can do is press enter, 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 and that skips through all of the dialogue. I don't know what the key would be for that on console, but there's an option for you to look for at the very least. Now I know that some of you like Ordis, but
Ordis is angry. I may require maintenance after all.
Yeah, there's only so many times I can hear that voice line before I start to go a little bit insane. And if you like me on that one, if you go into your options, there are two ways of handling this. First of all, you can actually just shut up Ordis. There is a single Ordis volume tab you can bring all the way to 0. But more than that, enable hint transmissions can be turned off. That gets rid of all of those random chatter transmissions once you restart your game. Now if you've ever been doing lots of trades all at once, if you've got a load of offers up on Warframe.market, you may get some transmissions come through and you're like, oh hey yeah, he's wanting to offer me more for it, I'll take that, yeah absolutely, let's go ahead for that. And then you realise you've actually just responded to the wrong person. You see, this is a feature called Inline chat messages. I'm not entirely sure why it is the way it is, because I haven't seen this in any other games, and I've only seen it cause a bit of confusion here, to be quite honest. Now, this has been put on as a skit. Beardface isn't actually upset with me here. He's part of the clan. He's not about to go crying over a mixed message like that. Don't flame him, but yeah, we've all been there. So the fix for this is very simple, and it's once again just heading into your options, this time to chat, and you go to inline private messages, just turn this one off. What that means is then any messages that come through in private chat will stay to their own tab. No more mix up between different tabs for different people. And now for the very last of the tips today. Maybe you're trying out some nice new weapon that some content creator told you is the best in the world, but no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to get the red crits that they've been showcasing are possible with that weapon. Well, let's head into the options and fix that for you. We go into our interface, we go down to the customized colours they call it. Don't worry about that, it's nothing to do with colours, we're just going over to the criticals here and we're fixing it so that when you get your critical hits, like this one here, we're going to make it where you always get red crits. This is the big solution, this is the big ticket they've all been hiding from you this entire time. With that now, you have permanent red crits. I mean, just look at that. That is the weapon you were hoping to have right from the start, isn't it? Alright, so that wraps up my tips and tricks for quality of life here in Warframe, with some of those hidden options to make your experience just that little bit better. If you have enjoyed this video or learned something new, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe as well to catch more as I go live. That's all from me for now though. So as always, learn tips, get tricks, and fight well, Tenno.